Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Again, welcome to our YouTube channel. There is so much happening in our politics today. Kuna mambo mengi ambayo yanaendelea katika nchi yetu tuipendayo ya Kenya. Sio upande wa serikali, sio upande wa upinzani. Kuna what I would call political realignments. And in the fullness of time, politics is going to take a very different shape. Behind the scenes in Azimio are fierce wars of who is going to succeed Raila Amolo Odinga. The succession battle is as a result of Raila Amolo Odinga declaring his interests to join or to lead the African Union. Kuna wale ambao wanaangalia, wanaona ya kwamba Raila needs to name his successor. There are others who feel that he should not name the successor. Na si ajabu jana tulimsikia aliyekuwa waziri wa maji na wakati mwingine wa afya Charity Kaluki Gilu akimuuliza Raila Amolo Odinga, unatuacha vipi? Unatuacha tukiwa namna gani? And behind the scene are fierce battles, supremacy battles. And this has even seen Martha Karua and Jeremiah Kioni looking like they are on their way out of Azimio, because what they have done is that they have called a meeting of, I think, other 13 affiliate parties, whereby they are going to meet and discuss and maybe come up with a way forward and discuss their future in Azimio. When you look at all this, I think Raila is trying to contain the situation, and that is why he has been trying to assure Kenyans that he's not going anywhere. That is why he has always been telling Kenyans that between Addis Ababa and Nairobi is just a 2 hours flight, ni masaa mawili, and atakuwa pale. Again, when I look at Raila Amolo Odinga, he's joining or is going to African Union headquarters, that is Addis Ababa, is actually deodorizing his exit from local politics. Huo ni ukweli wa mambo. Na sasa kuna wale ambao wanajitapa vifua wakasema kwamba tumekuwa hapa kwa muda mrefu, and if Raila Amolo Odinga is going, we are the people who should inherit Raila Amolo Odinga. We are the people who should succeed Raila Amolo Odinga. Ukichunguza kwa undani utakubaliana nami ya kwamba Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is the first among equals. When you look at Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, kuna wale ambao wanamuona akiwa mtu vuguvugu, fufutede, yani just lukewarm, not hot, not very cold. And politics, opposition politics, requires somebody who is very bold, requires somebody who is very abrasive, requires somebody who will call a spade, requires somebody, because they are trying to compare William Samoei Ruto and Raila Amolo Odinga, and if you look at it, utaona kwamba Raila Amolo Odinga was capable of keeping William Samoei Ruto on his toes, was capable of overseeing the government, overseeing the executive, and calling it bluff when it is necessary. But ukitazama Kalonzo Musyoka ni mtu ambaye wengi wana wasiwasi naye. Wengi wanaona ya kwamba inaweza kuwa vigumu sana kwa serikali kupigwa na mtu kama Uncle Steve. But he has been trying to assure the Azimio family that all will be well. And I think it is high time that leaders like Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta comes out and stamp their authority, comes out and provide the much needed direction, because leaders are needed at this time. You know, there are those leaders like Jeremiah Kioni ambao wanaona kama wameachwa, na sasa hapa ukichunguza utaona kwamba this is where we now start going wrong, because sasa wengi wanaanza kuangalia siasa na kuwa na mitazamo ya kikabila, na wakati ambapo viongozi wanaanza kuchunguza au kutazama mambo kwa jicho la kikabila, hapo ndipo sasa mambo yanaanza kwenda mrama, because you cannot tell me that Jeremiah Kioni and Martha Karua have more in common kuliko vile ambavyo mtu kama Babu Owino na Martha Karua Kwa sababu when you look at Mother Karua and Babu Owino, they have so much in common than in conflict compared to Jeremiah Kioni. The only thing that brings Jeremiah Kioni and Mother Karua is the language of House of Mobi, Nyuba, Yagekoyo. Otherwise, when it comes to principles, when it comes to the way they perceive things, the way they have been on the trenches, it is very, very different. Kwa hivyo kile ambacho tunataka kusema hapa ni kwamba even Raila, before he leave, he need to ensure that Azimio is actually intact, because William Samoei Ruto must be very, very happy wherever he is. I'm not saying that Kenya Kwanza is better. No, far from the truth. Huko ndiko kubaya zaidi, kwa sababu kama unakumbuka vizuri sana, tuliona watu wengine wakilalamika pale kama vile Moses Kuria, who he had even promised to give a presser, but he didn't, because I strongly believe he was stopped by the so-called, they refer to William Samoei Ruto as the Doyen. And huwezi ukamwaibisha Doyen. Doyen anajua kile ambacho anafanya. Doyen ni mtu ambaye, if you look at the English dictionary, a Doyen is somebody who has superior ability, somebody with exceptional ability compared to his friends. And when you look at William Samoei Ruto, does he deserve to be called a Doyen? Really, does he deserve to be called a Doyen? But back to Azimio, because that is where my analysis is. I think unless Raila Amolo Odinga work with everybody, Azimio can easily break. It is very, very delicate. But all said and done, there is no way Azimio can work without ODM. In fact, because the heart of Azimio is ODM, truth be told. And if Azimio, even if he is not going to provide the leader, because I think ODM want Oparanya to lead Azimio, because they strongly believe that Azimio is a uniting factor. But when you look at it, ODM is the strongest party in Azimio, which is true. And according to many people, they strongly believe that Azimio should be led by somebody who comes from ODM. What do you think? Do you think Azimio should be led by anybody who qualifies? Because that is what I think. And when you look at experience, I think experience is also very important here. Na hapa ndipo sasa Kalonzo anaigilia kutokana na ujuzi wake, kuwa na umilisi mwingi wa kisiasa. And again, it would look like we are rewarding Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, which is good in my view. Because if you don't reward loyalty in politics, many people are likely to bolt out. And I think if I were Raila Amolo Odinga, I would come out boldly and declare Kalonzo Tosha. I would come out boldly and say that without Kalonzo, Azimio may not go far. I would rally ODM support Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, and then the deputy should come from ODM. Because all said and done, ODM is going to have a very strong say. It's going to have a big say in Azimio politics. And I think people like Mother Karua need not to bolt out. Unajua, the boat capsizes when it's near the shore. And this one can only explain the role played by Raila Amolo Odinga in Kenyan politics. Because there's a lot of confusion. A lot of confusion. If you look at huyu Riggy G hata ogei, he doesn't know whether to support Raila Amolo Odinga because the boss is supporting him. He doesn't know whether to criticize Raila Amolo Odinga. He doesn't know what to do. Kwa hivyo ameamua kunyamaza. So the confusion is everywhere as a result of Raila Amolo Odinga. Raila Amolo Odinga is a political animal, has been transversing the politics of this country. I don't know like what. But without Raila Amolo Odinga, politics is likely to take a very different discourse. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about Azimio leadership? Because if you ask me, let Kalonzo be declared the presidential candidate. Let somebody like Oparanya, like somebody like Babu Owino, or anybody who will be voted by ODM. In fact, I would like ODM to produce the deputy party leader of Azimio. And I think that one would save the situation. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Please like this video, share, and leave a comment. And have a lovely weekend ahead. Bye-bye.